Blueberries and cream pie with streusel topping. Sounds amazing. I have a ton of blueberries, so I've been searching the internet for some new recipes to try. And I've never made this pie before, but that's why I like to do it on camera so we can make it together and experience it and see if it's a recipe that's worth keeping or if it's not worth the time and money. So the recipe seems to originate from All Recipes. I did see it all over Pinterest, but it seems like the original one for the pie comes from All Recipes, and the streusel topping I'm going to put on it is just a streusel topping that I've made before. That one didn't really come from any place in particular. So this recipe seems like it's pretty simple to put together, especially if you use a pre-made pie shell, which I am going to do. I love to bake, but for some reason I absolutely hate pie crust. I don't like making pie crust, so I'm using the pre-made shell. It is a 9-inch pie. You also need 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, and there's also a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt in here, 1 egg, 8 ounces of sour cream, and 2.5 cups of fresh blueberries. The streusel topping is a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 stick of butter softened, 1/2 cup of chopped nuts. I'm using walnuts, but you can use pecans. And then I have a mixture of a 1/4 cup of flour and a 1/4 cup of the quick cooking oats. This recipe comes together pretty quickly, so you're going to want to start by preheating your oven to 400 degrees. So the first step is to mix all the ingredients in the pie except for the blueberries. So I already have the egg in here. I'm going to add the sugar, the flour and salt, the vanilla, and the sour cream. And I'm just going to mix all of that together first. The batter was mixed together. It looks very similar to pancake batter. There's not very much. It seems like there's going to be a lot of blueberries here. So what we need to do now is fold the blueberries in. Just be careful because you don't want to burst them open. You want them to still stay whole. And I actually added just a pinch of flour to this, probably 1/2 teaspoon. That's it, not much. But it wasn't part of the recipe, but usually you do that to help keep them from all sinking to the bottom. I don't really know if it was necessary or not, but I don't really think it's going to hurt it. So I did it. So I think I'm going to do it just a little bit at a time and kind of fold it in until it's all mixed together. That was really simple because the batter is pretty watery. It's not a thick batter at all, so it was really easy to kind of just fold it all in. So now we're going to pour this into the pie shell, and then we're going to make the streusel topping. The pie shell is filled, and this is actually going to go in the oven for 25 minutes before the streusel topping goes on it. So you're going to bake it for 25 minutes, and then you'll take it out and add the streusel topping and then bake it for an additional 15 minutes. So this is going to go in while I make the streusel topping. Now for the streusel topping, it's really easy. You're going to just start with mixing the brown sugar and the flour and oats together. So I put the brown sugar in the bowl, I've got the flour and the oats. Just kind of mix those together. Usually when I make streusel, I'm going to try using a fork to begin with, but I usually do just use my hands. It kind of just gets all the butter in there better, and it, you know, it makes a mess on your hands, but I think it's easier that way. So you don't have to be perfect on this. Once you get the butter in there, you're going to mix it all together nicely. So just kind of get that incorporated together. I'm going to add the butter. If it wants to go, there we go. And you could just kind of take a fork and mix it in. Personally, I just think it's a lot easier with my hands. So I'm going to just get right in there, mix it with my hands, and then I will be folding in the nuts last. All right, my hand may not look pretty, but it is mixed in perfectly. And now I'm just going to fold in the walnuts, and then in 25 minutes, when the pie comes out, it will be placed on top. It's all mixed together, and as soon as the pie comes out, I am going to be crumbling it on the top. The pie just came out of the oven after 25 minutes. The crust is already starting to get a little brown, so I think I might put, I have a pie shield that I might put over the edges, or you can even use a little tin foil. So if the crust is getting really dark, you might want to do that because it is going to go back into the oven for another 15 to 20 minutes with the streusel topping. So the next step is to put the streusel topping across the top. So I have the topping right here. I'm just going to take a little bit at a time and kind of just sprinkle it on top. It's not the easiest to sprinkle. It's kind of sticky, but I think that with all the butter, it's just going to kind of melt in anyway and be good. The pie is ready to go back into the oven. It's at 400 degrees still, and you're going to cook it an additional 15 to 20 minutes. You want the streusel to brown, and you do want the center to completely set. It's going to be a little tricky to see that with the streusel topping, but just keep an eye on it. I'll let you know how long it takes. For me, I'm going to leave it in for 15 and I'll start checking it every few minutes after that. The pie just came out of the oven and it smells amazing. I did leave it in for 20 minutes. The streusel topping is nice and brown. It's a little difficult to see how well the center is set, but I'm sure once it's cooled off, it will definitely thicken up a little bit. So you could eat this warm or cold. I'm gonna go for cold. I'm gonna keep it in the fridge. I'm gonna let it sit on the counter for probably an hour or so just to let it cool down, and then I am gonna keep it in the fridge and eat it once it's cold because I prefer cold apple pie and blueberry pie and things like that. But you certainly can eat this warm as well. The pie has completely cooled. It's been actually cold now from being in the fridge for a few hours, and I tried it. And we're also going to have Sean try it on camera. He does not like blueberry, so I'm not really sure how well this is going to go over, but he did agree to take a bite of it and try it. But I don't know how well you could tell in the camera here. The filling is not too thick, and I did read reviews before I made this. I actually used the light sour cream. And I did read a bunch of reviews of people that said when they used the light sour cream that the center wasn't quite as thick. It didn't thicken up quite as much, but I did have the light on hand, so I used it. So if you're looking for the center to be a little thicker, you'd probably want to go with the full fat sour cream. It tastes great. It is not too sweet. There's still a little bit of a tartness to the blueberries. So sometimes when you make blueberry pies and things like that, there's just so much sugar. And this did have a lot of sugar in it, but I still could taste the blueberries. I still could taste the tartness of the blueberries. It wasn't overly sweet. The streusel topping is great. I like the addition of the nuts. It kind of gives a little crunch to it. There's a lot of blueberries. You can tell that from even when we put it in the pie, but it kind of turned a purplish color. So I did not try it warm, so I really can't give an opinion on that. I only tried it cold. But it is definitely good, and we're gonna get Sean's opinion. But again, he's not a fan of blueberries, so don't be surprised if he has a negative review. Okay, moment of truth. Sean has his slice of the pie and a drink just in case. All right, so go ahead.
Wait, you gotta sniff it.
It's been in the refrigerator for a while, so.
It just smells like pie.
Yeah. It has a streusel topping on it.
Mm-hmm.
You like it?
For someone that doesn't like blueberries, it's not bad.
It's not bad?
No.
That's pretty good for somebody who doesn't like blueberries.
Yeah. I like the other stuff that's in there.
What other stuff?
What's in there with the blueberries?
Oh, it's a sour cream mixture.
That's good. I like that.
So you'd like a pie of that with no blueberries?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well, the fact that you're still eating it's good, so you must like it. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't keep taking it.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised. I'm so happy. That's so good. There's something new that you like.
Listen. It's good.
All right, so then you'd eat it again.
It's not something if you made it again, I don't think I would be like jumping, doing jumping jacks for.
But you would eat it.
If it was cream puffs, another story.
I like it, and I like that it's different. I feel like whenever I have blueberries, it's always blueberry pie, blueberry muffins. So this is a little different. It's a new taste. It's not the same old thing. So that's why I really do like it. I think I'd probably try the full fat sour cream next time just to see how the consistency changes in the center. But it's a nice flavor, and it's a great way to use up some of the 10 pounds of blueberries we have sitting in the fridge. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Cheers.
I'm so surprised you're eating it. Wow, that's good. Keep going.